Let me give you some details. This might help you a little bit. Um, we are a 501c3 at this point with an independent board and financial oversight. There's about 150 total young adults is how we describe them now, not teenagers or youth, because we think every teenager is kind of an adult in training one way or the other. There's 40 to 50 folks that have become engaged in this project in our church, which is a really high number for any kind of project at our church. There's 20 people employed that were employed in 2020, 10 of those on a real consistent basis. We're kind of excited about the idea that we have an economic engine that supports people meaningfully in their lives. There's 15 students only right now currently in direct mentoring. We would have expected that number to be maybe 35 to 40 this year, except that that COVID really got in the way of that and messed all that up on a whole bunch of levels. But if we are going to look at those relationships, I'd say we have 60 impact relationships in which we're involved regularly enough during the week that we're impacting the lives of students. So for instance, the weight training program, if you're a part of that, you're there 3 days a week for an hour and 15 minutes. We used to do a meal once a month with them as well. And then build the life skills on the end of that. So we actually had a lot of hours with the kids involved in that program, whereas Motown, you're pulling kids out for maybe a 6-hour job on a Saturday. It depends on how frequently you can get those jobs that students can actually work to be able to do that. 15 to 20% of our students are minority students. 45% of our employees are minority employees. And I think, I can't read it with this silly bar at the bottom of Zoom, but I think 12 to 15% of our mentors are minority-based mentors. And we've tried, I think we still have a lot of room to grow in that aspect to really reflect the communities that are around us. And also a lot of work to do, I think, in training our mentors properly in just awareness of race dynamics, socioeconomic dynamics, a whole bunch of assumptions that we bring into our relationships as mentors because of our particular upbringing, our kind of position that we occupy in the community. And that's work that we're trying to be attentive to, but we still have a long way to grow in terms of that. The Forge offers like an umbrella support network at this point. It helps us do the theological reflection on the ministry. Compensation, here's how this works so you get an idea of somewhat how this interacts. I am not directly compensated for my work in this, but the church pays my salary and allows me to do this on the side. And that's been a bit of a beast to try to do sort of 2.5 jobs at once over the last 5 years. My church, CPC, that's Columbia Presbyterian Church, does offer some support, but interestingly enough, it only offers $15K in direct support to this a year. We have raised throughout the community. We expect we'll have 32,000 in donations this year from people out in the community, which is actually a really small number. And only one grant that we think we'll get this year for $25,000. Our annual budget is $387,000. And so the interesting part is like two things. Somebody brought up resources. Like, it's been remarkable. We've built this sort of bootstrap this thing from the ground up because it generates revenue without needing a ton of direct support as a side project. The second thing I'll say, and we should come back to this later, is I think you have way more resources at your disposal than you realize.